Oil and Gas Crimes in Aceh, Part 1. Company 1 from 27 companies. ExxonMobil Corporation from 1971 to 2015. ExxonMobil extracted over 40 billion United States dollars from the Arun gas field in Aceh Utara. They called it development. But it was genocide behind barbed wire. Red Circle: over 900 Acehnese children were tortured, raped, electrocuted, and burned alive inside Post 13, Camp Ranking, and Camp Ratawali. These were not accidents. These were coordinated executions. ExxonMobil didn't just know, it funded the killers. They paid and housed SGI, TNI, and BRIMOB units. They gave fuel, buildings, food, and even the excavators used to dig mass graves. Collision in Doe versus ExxonMobil, U.S. Federal Court. Survivors named names. Children as young as 10 were found with electric burns, crushed skulls, and marks of sexual torture inside Exxon's perimeter fence. Each child killed is a name we remember. Each barrel of gas they sold carried the price of a murdered soul. Moneybag: from 1971 to 2015, ExxonMobil earned over 40 billion United States dollars in LNG profits from Aceh, but paid zero compensation to the families of the 900-plus children killed. Bust in silhouette: key perpetrators identified. Letkol INF. Sudomo, Kodi M. Lokziamawe Commander, Colonel Eddie Mulyono, SGI Commander 1999 to 2002. Led to Armin Saputra, Intel Officer, Camp Ranking, Sertu Herman Jaya, BRIMOB Unit, Arun LNG Post, Ron Wilson, CEO, Mobil Oil Indonesia, ExxonMobil Indonesia, Miss Arnie, Community Relations Officer, ExxonMobil Aceh, Pakar Wan, Logistics Division Chief, Arun Gasfield, Miss Lena, Liaison Officer to Military Security at ExxonMobil Camp. Where did Indonesia come from? The name Indonesia was invented by James Richardson Logan and George Windsor Earle, two European scholars, in 1850. It means Indian Islands, not a native identity. It was a colonial label, used to define zones of exploitation under Dutch control. The Dutch East Indies drew borders to extract wealth: gas from Aceh, copper from Papua, spice from Maluku. After 1945, the Javanese elite inherited these maps, without consent from Aceh, Maluku, or Papua. This is not unity. This is occupation in new clothes. Aceh, a sovereign nation erased before colonization, Aceh was a sovereign kingdom, with embassies, treaties, and international recognition. The Sultanate of Aceh Darussalam signed alliances with the Ottoman Empire, England, France, and others. Aceh had its own laws, currency, and armed navy. It stood equal with nations, not beneath them. But Dutch colonial conquest, and later the post-1945 Indonesian state, erased Aceh's sovereignty without consent. Aceh was annexed, militarized, and stripped of its independence, its children used as collateral for gas. Today, ExxonMobil profits stand where mosques once stood, and mass graves now mark the ground where a nation stood proud. Double standards of the world. In the West, when one child is raped, the whole world screams. But in Aceh, over 40,000 children were raped, tortured, and killed, and the world remained silent. Red Circle: we repeat again. 20,000 Acehnese children were gang raped by Indonesian military units, many until death. There were no trials, no sanctions, no justice. This is not justice. This is state-sponsored child extermination, aided by corporate power, hidden behind a false republic. The Indonesian military operated as a protected system of child rapists, an unpunished army of pedophiles under the state's full knowledge and silence. This wasn't just a gas project. This was corporate-funded extermination of Acehnese children. Name badge: we name the perpetrators. Coffin: we mourn the 900 children of Cluster I, and the 20,000 raped and murdered across Aceh. Loudspeaker: we demand the world to listen. Loudspeaker: if you believe in justice, follow, like, and share this truth. Let their names echo beyond silence. Books. References: Doe vs. ExxonMobil Corp. U.S. District Court, Washington, D.C., Civil Action Number 01-1357. Mass Graves in Aceh by TNI and Polri. Eyewitness File, 2025, ExxonMobil Camp Child Victim Summary. Documented Testimonies, 2025. Tears of Aceh. Survivor Archives, 2025, Amnesty International Reports on Aceh, 1999 to 2004, Human Rights Watch. Aceh under martial law, 2003, Contras and LBH Aceh. Joint Investigation Files, 1998 to 2005. Hashtag Justice for ACEH. Hashtag ExxonMobil Crimes. Hashtag Colonization.